You also need to submit your financial account information to get paid. All NIC benefit claims are now paid conveniently through your local financial institution. To provide your bank or credit union account information, simply log on to the NIC website at www.stlucianic.org. Click the Financial Account Information tab and fill out the form. It's that easy. You only submit once. Ensure you enter the details of an open active account in your name. If you do not have access to the internet, visit any NIC office to collect a financial account information form. Help us to help you. NIC, for the benefit of us all.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop, opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
McDowall supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowall's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowall's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowall's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowall's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowall's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowall's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowall's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Another wonderful Wednesday afternoon to you, everyone. Thank you so very much for tuning in to and staying with Real FM Radio, serving you on the dual frequencies of 91.3 North, 91.5 South. And this is The Real Issues, our program which airs weekdays on this radio station from 12:30 until 2 p.m. And we also simulcast on NBC Television, channel 120, on our Flow cable TV service. We are on Facebook Live as well, and we do YouTube live streaming. As I came in today, Jaquan told me that the technicians have informed him that they'll be trying some, different options to troubleshoot and explore and hopefully fix the audio problems and other problems, technical issues that we sometimes have from time to time, so that per chance they can identify exactly what is, the situation that they need to correct. So let's hope that we get that done by today. We're sorry for the inconvenience it has caused you, and we are working towards ensuring that this is eliminated. I did announce to you that Terry Fenelon would be with me again today. Well, there's been a slight change in that plan because Terry is due to be the guest on Just for the Record with Lisa Jawai on Choice TV tonight. So I did indicate to him that if he was due to be with Lisa tonight, then maybe, he should give himself a little rest, because that's not all that he does. And so, regrettably, we'll be without him today, but hopefully on some other occasion. Tomorrow I'll be having guests on the program, and we'll be speaking about something which I know is of very great importance and significance to St. Lucian. Stay in suspense. I won't tell you exactly what it is, but we are going on for the time being. Hope you're having a good day so far, and that the rest of your day you have every reason to be optimistic about it. Remember, do everything that you can to stay safe and to keep others safe. It's a society living a selfish life where you care only about yourself and your own gratification. You may get by, you may get away with it for a time, but it's always going to turn around and bite you in the you-know-where. And it's going to bite other people too. We can't have a society where we are all living for our own selfish fulfillment, for our own personal gratifications, whether it is the loud music, boom, 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 boom. We don't care who it's affecting, how they're affecting them. We don't care about the old person in their house, who can't take the noise in their head and so on, or the person who has a pacemaker. As a lady told me once, when she's riding on one of those minibuses and they have this vehicle, she's feeling it in the middle of her chest because she has a pacemaker. The vibration, she's feeling like her heart is ripping out or something of that kind. I don't know if it was all psychological, but she protests that on the vehicle, and the amount of other people who were basically, shouting her down and crying her about sotla, vieux moons or toujours like vieux bail longtemps, this kind of thing. We have to be more sensitive towards other people in the society. Otherwise, our fortunes, our blessings will not manifest, will not come upon us. And I'm seeing too many increasing trends of this selfishness. I don't care who I'm affecting. I don't care who I'm hurting. I don't care who I'm making sick. And let me tell you this too. I talk about the show-off biking on the roads. It's not just that, There are some young men in some neighborhoods, and I'm familiar with one of them, Sanssouci, who just like to pass through, having their bikes at high rev just for the sake of making noise. They don't care. I think I'm still within the age group where, as they say, my head can take it still. But I wonder about the older people inside their homes who are basically immobile, who are helpless, who are sick and shut in. And to have those bikes passing, and it's like it's a deliberate thing, whoa, 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 all the time doing it. Y'all don't want to stop. I'm sure other people talk to y'all. Y'all don't want to relax. Y'all don't want to give a break to people who, just by sheer dint of their age, this thing really, it spooks them, it freaks them out, it frightens them, it startles them, it makes them. Y'all don't want to think about anybody. I'm not going to pronounce any curses or anything. I'm not a prophet. I don't have that office, I don't have that calling, I don't have that gift. But you see, a lot of times when things happen to you all young people, I know we like to say this generation or whatever, I'm not going, but you young people who seem to be growing up with and cultivating and worsening that selfishness, that don't care with anybody, that total disregard for the negative effects that your behavior is having. You see the things that is happening to a lot of you all from time to time. My mind wonders whether there is some kind of retribution, not of man, some retribution that is not of the physical realm. And you know what I'm talking about, that is coming upon you because of your spiteful, disdainful, contemptuous, heartless, cold-blooded, hateful, unloving behavior that you'll have towards just about everybody in everything that you do. And I want to put it to you, it is this mindset that makes you all not think twice about pulling a knife and just stabbing somebody, you know. As you must know when you do that it possibly can cause their death. You know, pulling a gun and just shooting somebody, you don't give a damn whatever it is. This kind of, I don't give a damn about anybody but myself. There comes a time where you stop caring about yourself and you don't even realize it. You know, because the kind of recklessness that is taking place in this place, you know, in this society, it cannot be of people who are consciously thinking about themselves or their safety. It's people who have done wrong so much, I suspect, that they have developed such a sense of impunity that they don't think anything could possibly happen to them. So I can race down the road at 200 miles an hour going around a blind corner with no helmet and whatever it is. You know, you've done so many things that you got away with it that you think nothing could possibly go wrong. Well, it does go wrong from time to time in a very catastrophic way. And you all will learn. You all will learn, if not the normal, sensible way, you all will learn the hard way. And sometimes it is very irretrievable. You can turn back now, you know. You can turn back now and stop the kind of craziness that is happening all over the place of people just pamili, futi pamal, saki pakotei, mamili, you know, this kind of thing. It's going to come back to you. And it's going to come back to us collectively. And let me tell you something. Many people wonder how Shelton Daniel, who spoke so passionately about Donald Trump, how I'm so calm now that Donald Trump, well, there's nothing I can do anyway. But you know something? It's my personal belief system that when you see we hurl ourselves and we commit ourselves and we virtually sell ourselves, our soul, to doing badness, to doing evil, to doing wrong things, there are multiple ways that God Almighty can bring retribution and punishment upon us. There are many ways. And sometimes it is based upon the king that he gives us, the governor, the president, the government, the prime minister, that he puts upon us for a particular reason, to chasten us, to chastise us, to let us see how life is when just a simple realignment of circumstances takes place in our lives. That the appearance on the scene of certain leaders and certain governments and certain regimes and so on, whether they are not meant to teach us lessons that we will not gracefully, that we will not willingly, that we will not voluntarily, meekly, humbly accept to follow ourselves. That the appearance on the scene simultaneously of a Donald Trump in America, Vladimir Putin over in Russia, Benjamin Netanyahu over in Israel, this one and that one. Sometimes there is a bigger reason that we fail to appreciate. And I know people have taken me to task when I say that Donald Trump was put there, you know, by God. Oh, how could that possible? Well, Guy Joseph said the same thing, of course, didn't he? That there's no way that God could have chosen Philip JPS. So who did? The devil? Somebody else chose him and so on. It's no longer God who controls the destiny of men and the bounds of their habitation and the limits of their lives and their existence and so on, who causes governments to rise, and suddenly we don't like a person, it must be somebody else. Well, if you want to think that Satan controls you and the world, maybe he does in a manner of speaking, but I believe the ultimate sovereign is God, the Almighty. And when you see that we find circumstances where sensible people either vote for or they are powerless to stop the rise or the ascent of despots and tyrants and all different kinds of people that just seem to just mess up everything, there could be a reason why it is happening. You ain't doing your own thing in your personal circumstances of life. Wickedness to other people. Don't care about older folk, whether it's when they're crossing the road, etc. Don't care about lights and pedestrian crossings and engaging wantonly and willfully in criminal behavior. You just one day may get, it don't have to be a prime minister, it don't have to be a government, it may be some other functionary. Sometimes, young man, it just may be the kind of wife that you get, you know. The kind of wife that you get, deuce, you know, and keep your life miserable and so on. Or you may become a father, and for some reason, you just find you have children who are just giving you a headache. You know, say, Mama, just say, malset puhu, you know, and you don't know why. You're pulling out your hair, you're ready to go. You just never know what it is What is the kind of harvest that life is giving you, which is a reflection of what you have put in? Now, that said, I'm not happy. I'm not wishing for people to have bad, wayward, recalcitrant children that don't want to obey, that getting into all kinds of trouble, that next thing you've been called for shoplifting over there, you've been called for this or that they're doing. I know what I'm saying. I'm saying sometimes we need to ask ourselves whether what life throws at us is not the harvest, is not what we are reaping for what we have sown in it. And I see a lot of bad sowing in St. Lucia. There just seems to be a love of wickedness and badness and insensitivity and callousness and so on that is growing all the time. And we need to watch it. We need to watch it. The spiritual dimension of our lives has not been obliterated. It is not lost, even though it seems that we do whatever we want and nothing will happen to us in return. Nevertheless, that wasn't the purpose of this part of today's program. A lot of good things are happening in the country. And apparently there are some people who are just determined that they're not going to give you a chance. You know, the mental breathing space. I won't give you a chance to think about it. I won't give you a chance to contemplate it. I won't give you a chance to appreciate it. I won't give you a chance to take it in and say, yeah, you know, that's a good thing, you know. For too many years, cases are being adjourned and being thrown out, and this is happening, and there's always a problem with air condition and mold, whatever, in the court buildings and so on. The registry always have a problem and so on because there is mold and there is dust and so on. That if we're going to have some buildings that we will construct that will deal with that kind of thing, maybe, you know, cases and justice and so on will proceed better. You know, whether it's Parliament, whether it's the Printry, that whole row of buildings. But there's some people who don't want you to think about that. They don't want you to think about that. They don't want you to think about custody suites and there will be a place to hold people in humane conditions. You know, this idea that they commit a crime, so, you know, you can put them in a pigsty. Well, how do you decide somebody has committed a crime? How do you know the person has not been framed unless this matter has gone through the courts, unless it has gone to trial? How do we expect people who are judges and magistrates, who are lawyers, who are trained, who have been in proper offices, who have been in universities and so on, that they can come to places to preside over things, to read through so much, to write so much, etc., to research so much, and they have to be facing the pigsty conditions of ACEs breakdown, they're sweating, they cannot, you know, they can't breathe properly, they're having all kinds of respiratory problems, as indeed everybody else. Halls of justice. So you have to go, you have to lash it, you have to talk about every kind of foolishness, bring in all kinds of nonsense that has to do, especially the most disgusting of late, that CIP thing. And if it were just CIP, the people who were accusing McLeod and Ernest Hilaire, etc., but bringing in criminal people who in the countries where they live and they operate, they are not regarded at all, they are looked down upon. Like this Martinez, a jailbird, like this Ken Ridgeock, another jailbird, people who have been convicted and jailed for fraud and money laundering and drug and arms trafficking and a whole lot of things and so on. Now they broke, they don't have money. So the way they think is to come and create some kind of accusation, a noose of innuendo among the necks of countries, and to try to make the governments and the prime ministers of these countries so desperate that they will give in to their demands. You want me to stop talking about those things? Hey, give me 50 million. You give me 30 million. Give me 40 million US dollars and so on. These criminal people who are trying to extort and shake down countries and governments, and to think there are politicians in St. Lucia who call themselves St. Lucians, who call St. Lucia their own, who are in cahoots with those people, who are colluding with them, who are in complot with them to destroy the country, its CIP, just because they believe it will help them get back into office. That they are doing this kind of thing to their country. People, let us keep our heads screwed on. Let's keep our heads screwed on. Never before have I seen, not desperation, you know, you're supposed to have passion and how you call it, a go-get-it mentality, and, you know, a desire and drive and a competitive nature in politics. It's a good thing. It ensures that we get the best and the most determined and the most committed people. It is not the desperation that really worries me, It is the destructiveness. It is the absolute evil that it is being done, that I don't care what I have to do, I'm going to do it. I don't care who I have to do it to, whether it's my own in-laws, my family, my friends, and so on. I don't care. I want to get back into office, and I'll do whatever it takes. This is the devilishness that I see, in the politics of St. Lucia. Now, everybody's supposed to have drive. Everybody's supposed to have, I want it, and I'm going to go and get it. But not what I have been seeing in our country, the way these people, Martinez is discredited everywhere. Everywhere. So is Rejock. A guy who went to jail and all for money laundering, for, drug trafficking and a whole lot of things the guy was involved in. Now the guy has decided he's going to use his knowledge. That's how he started out, with his blog. He's going to use his knowledge of those things so that he can warn people about them, so that he can help them detect where these problems are. But the man has become a hitman. If anybody come and they tell him, we'll give you $2 million to help us destroy the government of St. Kitts, and Rejock is going to do it, because I guess he has so many bills and so many expenses. He cannot hold on a regular job. I think he's a lawyer. He can't hold on. The guy has probably been this bad and all this kind of thing already. So, these people are like hitmen for hire, whatever you can pay. And when you see they can turn local people into hitmen and hit women for hire, and when local politicians who seem to have no other means to line their pockets but to plunder the coffers and the treasury of St. Lucia, so they want to get back there because the money they had is probably running low. They have to make one last desperate grab for power so they can fool their pockets once again. And they don't care what they do to the country. They don't care who they destroy. If it's Ernest Hilaire, they hated him already. If it's McCloud Emmanuel, an up-and-coming young man who has no blemish track record and so on, their own family, people of reputable backgrounds and names like Flosac and Dubule and so on, they're going after them. They don't care. It's our objective. Once you find people like that nothing matters but what I want, my gratification, my aim, my objective, my balance sheet, my bottom line, my what I want. Let me tell you this, you want to go and follow those people? Time will tell. Maybe you need that. Maybe you're paying for something. I have my thoughts about Donald Trump, but I'm keeping them quiet. I speak enough about it already. The things that are known about this guy, his business practices and how he got rich and how he got bankrupt so many times, how he managed. This guy was actually advising other people when they have loans, don't pay the loans, how to duck and dodge the banks so that you never have to pay. So endless banks. And we see it in St. Lucia too, You go to a bank, you borrow $2,500 for some meager thing and so on, and you run into difficulty. The amount of calls you getting from loan officer, they're sounding like if they could beat you up over the phone, they're beating you up. You wonder how certain people manage to borrow so much from a bank, and they did it repeatedly, and so many bad debts and bad loans and this and thing they have. And apparently nobody troubling them, they getting away with it. And you ask yourself, people like Donald Trump, the amount of money they should have paid to IRS, all the bad debts, all the bankruptcies that they have behind them, how those people manage to keep on going, because these people have learned how to game the system. They've learned how to make, the fools who are downstream of them pay for all their bad business deals and all their, mauvaise payways and so on. These are the ones who are paying for it. And these people at the top, they're criminal things and so on. It's always about them not wanting to pay tax, wanting to get more money, and nobody should touch their money. So maybe here in St. Lucia too, maybe there are people who are like that, and the rest of us who are downstream of them, we don't mind, we don't mind paying the price for their misdeeds and their crooked ways, etc., etc. But we do that, and don't be surprised if we get results that really represent us paying a price. Enough of that. Okay. The government of St. Lucia reaffirms commitment to Youth Services Center. All right. Do we have the pictures that we can stream with that? Some live pictures of a building, and then there's a nice playing field. I think it talks about the conversion of the former George Charles Secondary School, right? Down in Lower Goodlands cul-de-sac. That they're going to transform it into a youth services center. All right, let's just stream the pictures, on the screen, which he says he's doing already. The government of St. Lucia, and that is dated November 25th. We're talking about Monday. The government of St. Lucia remains steadfast in its dedication to transforming the former George Charles Secondary School into a cutting-edge youth services center. This initiative reflects the government's commitment to supporting children, adolescents, and youth in need of care and protection. The Youth Services Center is envisioned as a transformative space that will offer comprehensive care and protection services, replacing outdated facilities like the Boys Training Center, the Beginnings Transit Home, and the Upton Gardens Girls Center. Minister for Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment, Honorable Joachim Henry, continues to emphasize the importance of providing a safe and supportive environment for youth in crisis. According to Minister Henry, his ministry remains committed to securing the necessary funding and logistics to bring this vision to life, reinforcing its alignment with the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child and the ministry's mandate to protect and empower vulnerable populations. The center will stand as a testament to the government's dedication to ensuring the well-being, development, and empowerment of St. Lucia's youth, marking a significant step toward a brighter future. Committee members who have been tirelessly working towards the project's fruition are Dr. Charmaine Hippolyte, Permanent Secretary, Celia Arthur, Deputy Permanent Secretary, Jacqueline Messiah Simeon from Upton Girls, Jan McFarlane, Welfare Divisions, Nathan Hyacinth, Cadet Corps, Rowan Lubon, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Bernice Francis, NBTH, don't know what that stands for, maybe I do. NBTH, what does it stand for? Tia Augustine, Attorney General's Office, Blanda Lancillo, Human Services, Sarah Leon, Research and Policy, Daniel Glasgow, Venus Cherry of RISE, Wayne Benty of Safel West Community College, Ricky Quinlan from the Ministry of Finance, Catherine Sealis, Raise Your Voice, Carlin Mason of CARE, that's the Center for Adolescent Reform or Rehabilitation and Education, Zachary Hippolyte of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, Sheldon Edward from the Ministry of Health, Richard Randolph, St. Lucia Mission of SDA, Kendall Elva, Social Transformation, Janie Joseph, Gender Affairs, Clementia Eugene, Krishna Emmanuel, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Lois Regis, HR, Human Resource Department of the Ministry of Equity, I suppose, and Liana Wallace from BTC, which is the Boys Training Center. All right. So we're happy for them. I think you've seen the pictures being scrolled on the Facebook Live and on the TV. So these are some of the developments that are springing out of the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice, and Empowerment. All right. Now there is another story from that same ministry which says most, and you'll hear what most is. Most concludes ISP focuses on future social protection programs, and it says staff at the Ministry of Equity diligently process income support check for distribution to successful applicants, ensuring timely assistance for those in need. The Ministry of Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment is pleased to announce the successful completion of the Income Support Program, ISP. It's not Internet Service Provider, it's Income Support Program, a significant initiative under the Caribbean Development Bank CDB-funded safety nets for vulnerable populations affected by the coronavirus project. Launched on September 19, 2023, the ISP aimed to provide essential financial relief to displaced informal sector workers impacted by the economic challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic. Over the past year, the ISP disbursed a one-time cash transfer of $1,500, that's 1,500 EC dollars to beneficiaries across all constituencies. 5,088 individuals benefited from the program, offering much needed support to vulnerable groups not covered by existing cash transfer programs. This initiative played a crucial role in stabilizing the economic situation of many families, providing a safety net during these challenging times. Minister for Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment, Honorable Joachim Henry, expressed his gratitude for the program's success, stating, quote, "The income support program was vital in assisting the most vulnerable in our society during an unprecedented crisis. This initiative demonstrated the ministry's commitment to ensuring that no one is left behind, especially in times of great need. We remain dedicated to refining our social protection mechanisms to better serve the people of St. Lucia, end of quote. The program's impact extended beyond the financial assistance. It also fostered economic stability and inclusivity by reaching underserved individuals in communities nationwide. The ministry acknowledges the critical role of the welfare and social transformation officers who actively engage communities to enhance the accessibility of the program. Permanent Secretary Dr. Charmin Hippolyte Emmanuel highlighted the ministry's collaborative efforts, saying, quote, "The successful execution of the ISP is a testament to the dedication and collaboration between our ministry, the CDB, and other key partners. We recognize the significant role this program played in supporting households across St. Lucia and remain committed to developing future programs that respond effectively to the needs of our people." All right, people, there is work taking place, serious work taking place, about under the income support program and other initiatives. We'll talk about some in agriculture after this commercial break.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
If you recently submitted a claim to the National Insurance Corporation, you also need to submit your financial account information to get paid. All NIC benefit claims are now paid conveniently through your local financial institution. To provide your bank or credit union account information, simply log on to the NIC website at www.stlucianic.org. Click the Financial Account Information tab and fill out the form. It's that easy. You only submit once. Ensure you enter the details of an open active account in your name. If you do not have access to the internet, visit any NIC office to collect a financial account information form. Help us to help you. NIC, for the benefit of us all.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Appreciate your staying with the real issues on this Wednesday. It is the 27th day of the month of November 2024. And I say this very slowly because look at this, 27 days we're into November. Hey folks over on the Millennium Highway, C.O. Williams people and others and so on. How y'all doing? How's the progress with the Forever Road? Y'all getting any far, distance with this last section? In fact, I think it's the last section from the Northern Tunnel down to the Banana Roundabout, or is it still dragging on and going to take another forever, because there seem to be so many phases and forevers, in that road and so on. Will we be ready for independence to at least whatever time that the state chooses to rename it the Julian Alfred Highway and so on? Will it be in any decent state as befits the pride and the sense of accomplishment and joy that Julian Alfred has brought us? I'll tell you, You're all a forever people, you know, guaranteed long existence in life, and I suppose more contracts and jobs and all of that, you know. Yeah. Really, 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 really. I don't know if we've ever seen anyone like that. Roads have taken a long time and they've frustrated people and exasperated whoever this and so on. But wow, this Millennium Highway, it takes the cake. New in St. Lucia, the feedback and redress mechanism for social assistance programs. Jaquan, do you want to just show that on the screen and then just go next into a 2-minute video that we have, so that we can let people know more of what is happening. And I want to thank John Emmanuel, who is among communications officers attached to the various ministries. I have to say he really is prolific in putting out information about the programs and the activities of the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment. So let's just put that still on the screen if you have it. I know there's a delay, so I'm not really seeing it on my devices yet, but I think you've already gotten it there. And then after that, we're just going to go into that short video clip, okay? Yep. You know, a lot of these things come, and I don't think we do enough of a good job in highlighting them. We sometimes complain that the communications officers and the PR people, that they're not giving us the information, but when they do, I don't know if it is because we don't find it, you know, maybe sexy enough, that we don't. Still not seeing it as yet, so the delay is pretty substantial. Is it on your screen already? Okay, yes, okay, I'm seeing it right now. All right. All right. Let's go straight into the video, and maybe I can just the video should be narrated, so I think it should have.
The Ministry of Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment has taken steps towards improving targeting, reach and coverage for social assistance programs to persons who are vulnerable and or living in poverty. Efforts have been made to expand the coverage of the Public Assistance Program PAP Cash Transfer Grant by increasing the number of beneficiaries from 2,600 to 3,600 since 2020. The ministry has also adopted the National Social Protection Policy 2022 to 2030, which aims to strengthen the social protection services in St. Lucia with the theme Delivering Care, Assuring Dignity, Building Resilience. The NSPP 2022 to 2030 promotes the life cycle approach to social protection. This means persons of all ages are targeted for benefits. In the face of scarcity, it is important that targeting is effective and that the most vulnerable and most in need are served. The Feedback Redress Mechanism, FRM, for social assistance programs have been developed to gauge the effectiveness of targeting by providing an avenue for persons to provide feedback or submit complaints when the system fails to serve them or others as intended. Feedback can also help those in authority improve targeting or redirect resources where needed. The FRM will allow for feedback and complaints from all persons served by social assistance programs, from social sector ministries such as the Ministry of Equity, the St. Lucia Social Development Fund, the SSDF, the Ministry of Health, and the Ministry of Education. To submit feedback or a complaint, access the form from a caseworker or someone from an outreach office or via the Ministry of Equity's Facebook page. Complete the form and submit. Await feedback from the Ministry of Equity. You will receive notice that your form was received. You will also be invited to discuss your complaint, and some form of redress will be presented to you. The Ministry of Equity assures you that your concerns will be heard. For those who may choose to access the form virtually, go to the Ministry's Facebook page. Search the FRM form, click on the link, complete the form, and click Submit. If you still have concerns, use a trusted advisor to complete the form on your behalf.
That was John Emmanuel, the communications officer attached to the Ministry of Social Transformation of Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment. And he has just sent a little clarification to me that most means Ministry of Social Transformation. He says it is the more recognized name of the ministry. So when they talk about most, even though it is now called Ministry of Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment, but it is still referred to as the Ministry of Social Transformation. And he clarifies for me that NBTH, which I struggled to see what it meant, that it stands for New Beginnings Transit Home. All right. What else do we have here? Someone says that our audio is breaking badly, and that was sent at about 10 minutes to 1. So I don't know on what device that he's listening to. The second person says the volume going in and out on TV. So like we said, the TV technical people are aware that there's some problem. They're just trying to identify exactly what it is, and they're trying different things to see if that will solve the problem. They haven't really pinpointed exactly what it is. While all this is going on, I can tell you that I'm getting some notification of some protests by the UWP. Let me see what the chat group that I'm a part of says. Someone asked, what's this about a protest at OKEU? Another person says, today. Person answers, yup, apparently. And he says, I think they are by the Leclerc Wellness Center. And another one says, they relocated to Akefinu Hospital, I think they're talking about. Another person says nobody's there, but they look like they've moved already. There's a little video clip where it looks like somebody is laughing their head off, at what I suppose they consider to be ridiculous. There's no, I confirm that there's no foul language in it, so maybe Jaquan, we can play it with the laughter and so on. I just forwarded it to you because I believe it shows our Chloe Dantes with a microphone stuck in front of Mr. Guy Joseph, the UWP deputy leader. So they're apparently interviewing them, but I could hear really nothing talking about, in terms of why they were protesting and so on. But I believe again, good afternoon to you, Terry Fenelon, who says Facebook is fine. And I think radio generally tends to be okay. I think we're okay on the radio, the Real FM radio. We generally okay on the Facebook. From time to time, we have little issues if the internet has some little problem with it. The YouTube live streaming, people speak very highly of it, that when all else fails, they go to YouTube and they seem to get a good stuff going on. So congratulations to our station manager, Nigel Nicholas, who I think was the first person who informed me about the YouTube live, so I figure he must be one of the main persons behind getting it going and so on. So take a bow on that one, Nigel. And all right, so Jagwan tells me that our video is ready, so we can see what's going on with the UWP protest that I'm told moved from Leclerc to OKEU or whatever. I'm a little confused about that one. But let's just see what it is. There's a lot of the UWP is trying to make a lot of hay about, the health services of the country. And I don't know what's it. When something is being done about health services, that this is when UWP wants to give the impression that there is some kind of crisis in healthcare. I'm sure the healthcare is not perfect. It has its issues. It's the public healthcare, going to a health center, Castri's Health Center and all when I used to. My only problem is that it takes a lot of time. It's a long time. You have to sit there waiting. But then where don't you have to wait? You go to private doctors' offices, You go to private doctors' offices and you have to wait. And it is because the public healthcare is more within the economic and financial means of people. You're going to find a lot of people, older people who there and so on. And if people just came in and click, clack and so on, will say they don't even take time to examine the people who would be more suspicious of it. We all know things like that, they are going to be very time consuming, and being journalist, broadcaster, having tight deadlines and schedules, there are a lot of times I just feel I just cannot stick around for the long wait that it takes. Nothing wrong with the system. It's my own life and occupation and those kind of things that don't allow me to. There's sometimes I would have no choice, of course. It happened to me in Antigua. They have a state-of-the-art modern hospital called the Mount St. John's Medical Center, more recently renamed the Celesta Bird Medical Center and so on. And I went there once because of something I was having and I had to wait to get up. And my goodness, it took time. It took a long time. I went there morning and, evening came before I had time to see a doctor because so many people were there. And apparently they take time with the people and so on. They don't race and rush and so on. I don't know what is the great crisis in healthcare in St. Lucia that is worse than what it has been in the recent past. Certainly. Have we played that video yet? Or is it I missed it? Okay, let's play it again. You know, what really is going on with the United Workers' Party now, and that sense of crisis that they're trying to portray and foster when it comes to healthcare. You know, I think you. All right. So I can't tell you what the person was really laughing at, but I suppose, you know, the paltry attendance and participation, the paucity of people there. It looks like people have gotten it into their heads that this whole thing is a pappy show. Going on Chaussee Road to protest about the closure of the cash result center when all these things were explained already, trying to make some issue out of non-issues and so on, looking for all kinds of things to create some kind of, you know, twaka and quarrel with. But the people rightfully are not buying into this foolishness. They're not buying into it. And so I can understand whoever took that video clip, you know, that they are laughing uncontrollably, you know, at it and so on. But we cannot take those things for granted. Okay, thank you very much, Jerry Fendello, once again for telling us that, the Facebook is fine. What was that we have on the Real Issues WhatsApp group? Okay. So maybe now, Jaquan, we can look at some things pertaining to agriculture. Now, recently, it's been reported that there's been a 17% decline in the sector's output for the year so far. Immediately. And I suppose Dominic Fede would be a key figure in that because he loves figures. He always believes that he can analyze and he can dissect figures so well. I see him do it in the Senate every now and then, and that this is down and it has gone down and agriculture is down and etc. etc. And I'm saying, my goodness me, what is this big thing about the sector being down? We know we were hit by at least 2 hurricanes and tropical, severe weather events, this year and so on. And we know how bananas are vulnerable, to wind and flooding and a whole lot of things that bananas, drought, etc., that how it affects bananas badly. Let me see if I can go to that. Yeah, so let me see if I can get the page for me to read that. It has to be Dominic Fede again. And not only that too, wasn't this the year where we also had the water-related emergency? Where they told people, don't wash vehicles, don't do this, don't do that. You could even be fined or arrested if you found wasting water. It means water was tight, so we were in drought conditions. We couldn't get water to put in the pipe. You do expect that even if people had irrigation systems where they get in the water, the rivers, the ravines and all of that were dry and so on. I'm trying to look for the page, but it's like, okay, good. United Workers' Party's page. Let me see if I can get it. St. Lucia's 17% contraction in agriculture threatens the livelihoods of farmers and food security for citizens, as reduced crop production and income put added strain on local communities already facing economic challenges. And so they have this nice little, video overlaid with text, showing St. Lucia's agricultural sector declined by 17%, less foreign income, and a whole lot of things that they're talking about. It's like they can't wait for any kind of bad news to come and to make some kind of big splash about it, etc. But what is the true story about the decline in St. Lucia's agriculture? Let us hear from... Alright, yeah, so they have it on their Facebook page. They have everything like that, and the decline in agriculture. But doesn't that also come at the time when we are exporting CMOS and dashing to Canada? Or we are about to? We've gotten into an arrangement. You're talking about our foreign exchange earnings and all that kind of thing. Isn't that a boost for our foreign exchange? Isn't that the same time that we are told that we are getting into some arrangements for our bananas that could, people Tropical Storm Brett in June 2023 caused significant damage to St. Lucia's agricultural sector, including 75% destruction to bananas and plantains. Other areas of damage included infrastructure and the CMOS subsector, which sustained 70 to 80% damage. The total damage to the agricultural sector was estimated at EC 70.079 million. This is the reason for the 17% decline in agriculture. But don't we have good news? Do we have a video there, Jaquan, talking about a French delegation exploring St. Lucian banana market? Do you have that video lined up? In other words, nature deals us a hand that we cannot do anything about. We can't stop the hurricanes and the storms and the drought and the no water and the water-related emergency and all those things that militate against our, not just bananas, but our agriculture as a whole. But then we are being told we're going to play 2 video clips. I hope we can do them back to back. The one about the French delegation exploring St. Lucia banana market. And that is a far cry from what we were promised during the tenure of the last administration led by Alan Chastney, and Ezekiel Joseph was the agriculture minister, that they were working out an arrangement where we would send our bananas to Martinique, and Martinique, under the cover of their association arrangement, would market our bananas in Europe. Did that ever happen? And not just did it ever happen, did anybody ever come back and tell us, look, this is the situation, we wanted to do it, but for XY reason, it couldn't work? Nobody ever comes back to tell you that we are sorry, it didn't quite work out. The same way nobody comes back to tell you about the 680 that they said that the Kenyans and the administration was collecting on every gallon of fuel. Never come back and say, well, I thought so. The information that I had at the time suggested, because they know it's lie, they lie, trying to deceive people, bold-faced and outright. They never come back and tell you that the promise that they made, that the first day they got into office, they would sign some kind of document to cause the price of gas to go down. It never happened. They never come back and tell you the true story about, the 2,000 pounds sterling per night, just to tell you they paid the difference. Well, what? It doesn't matter. Whatever difference you paid, it must have been a very high bill. You're a rich man. But how did it get that the tab that reaches the government of St. Lucia for settlement, for reconciliation, what they call retirement of your travel expenses, whatever, and so on, ends up being 2,000 pounds sterling per night? And it's the same way, this Martinique hoax, this Martinique con for our bananas never came. And this Alfred Prosper momentarily re-established the export of bananas to the UK after the SLP came in and he came in as agriculture minister. It floundered again, but Prosper came back and tell you, look, we tried this, but because of certain things, we really could not keep it up. We really could not continue. The market forces and the whole Brexit situation has changed, the dynamics and the calculus completely on us and so on, etc. He comes back and says so. So let's play that video clip about the French looking at our bananas.
A French delegation representing the Banamat recently met with officials from the Ministry of Agriculture and the National Fair Trade Organization, NFTO, to discuss a potential partnership aimed at boosting banana exports to Martinique and the wider European market. The discussions come in the wake of declining banana production in Martinique, with Banamat seeking to collaborate with St. Lucian farmers to meet supply targets. NFTO, a key stakeholder in the island's agricultural sector, has proposed supplying Banamat with up to 60,000 tons of high-quality bananas annually. The relationship between Banamat and the NFTO has grown through sustained collaboration, which both parties believe will allow local farmers to benefit from a significant reward. Banamat has also committed to providing technical support to the NFTO, focusing on identifying new opportunities and improving practices for banana cultivation in St. Lucia. Eustace Monrose, chairman of the National Fair Trade Organization, expresses that this initiative promises a significant boost to St. Lucia's agriculture sector, with a clear emphasis on quality and sustainability. Stakeholders are hopeful that the partnership will reinvigorate the local banana industry, creating new economic opportunities while strengthening the trade between St. Lucia and Martinique.
They have agreed to collaborate with us, and in this collaboration, both parties are expected to benefit. They will be carrying out some tests there, and also they will be giving us some technical assistance. And we have Mr. Thomas, who is the lobbyist over in Brussels, and he's trying to explore and to identify different opportunities for us, for both parties, both the Bonamat and the St. Lucia contingent.
Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Rural Development, Honorable Alfred Prosper, welcomes the initiative, highlighting its potential to revitalize the banana industry. However, he expressed concern about the ongoing threat posed by the black Sikatoka banana disease, which has long been a challenge for local farmers.
I'm very happy with the collaboration between Bonamat and St. Lucia, two countries that are very close to each other. We know the technical competence of the Bonamat in Matnik, and the new technologies that they are currently using in the banana sector in Matnik. And I believe it is important for us to collaborate, to share those technical efficiencies to make the banana industry in St. Lucia better than it is currently. We still see tremendous potential for the industry. The industry continues to provide jobs for many, many persons. The industry remains important for hundreds of farmers that depend on it for the survival, for income generation, and generally for the development of any country.
The next steps will include formalizing the partnership and implementing technical support measures, ensuring that the NFTO and its member farmers are well equipped to meet export demands. From the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Rural Development, I am Zarek Felix reporting.
All right, so Jokwan, if we can get the other one with Honorable Emma Hippolyte talking about St. Lucia shipping dashing to Canada. All right, if we can get that one lined up, let's go with it straight away.
We met with our dashing farmers again with Export St. Lucia to discuss the progress that we are making in terms of getting viable markets for our dashing farmers. You may recall that last year, November, with the use of our CDP funds, I supported some 52 farmers in Foshajac. So today I am pleased to report, I'm giving you the real evidence that the dashings are now real. Okay, so we are not speaking abstract anymore. We are shipping to Canada, we have markets in Antigua, Export St. Lucia is getting us other markets, and now what we're trying to do is to get our farmers to understand the rigors of the export market versus the local market.
People, it's all right for us to talk about the bad news, and bad news which has to do with what, like I said, with hurricanes, with tropical storms, with disease, black Sigatoka, that have to do with water shortage, water emergency, drought, these kinds of things, where you cannot even use irrigation systems that you have invested in, because the irrigation system has to pull the water from somewhere. You got to pull it from a river. You got to pull it from a ravine. You got to pull it from a pond, what we call in the Quatron mounds. Si yo tout sec, ko ka pon de l'eau pou fay. Si pa ni de l'eau, si pa ni de l'eau pièce côté, monsieur, ki mod bagay la ka travail. It's like they want to raise their hand and pump the air and pump their fist and so on. There's a little audio that we have. A statement by the chairman of the NFTO, Mr. Eustace Monroe. So we already heard in a video clip. This one is just a video clip, Jokwan. I don't know if you got it. It's 2 minutes, 27 seconds. See if you can get this and if you can line it up. If you don't have it yet, maybe we can go for the break, and while during the break, perhaps you can, you can search for it, Company in Canada which uses our CMOS, St. Lucian CMOS, being exported to Canada. And we know the challenges we've had with CMOS. The CMOS farmers is in shallow sea water on sticks and strings and so on that they grow. Once you have those severe water or severe weather events that throw up everything and that creates all sorts of problems, my friend. Once you have those kind of issues, it's going to affect your CMOS farms. Some time ago, I think in Choiseul at the fisheries where they were storing dried sea moss, some person or persons just went and they just, plundered sea moss that was already harvested and ready, I suppose, for packaging and processing and all that sort of thing. You have those setbacks that you have to deal with. But the fact is that the government now, under the leadership of Honorable Alfred Prosper as Minister of Agriculture, they're trying a thing all the time. They're trying a thing. They're looking for regional markets and so on. They've had problems with boxes. They've had problems with this, navigating through all of them. We're never having difficulties to export our produce to the Leeward Islands, to Antigua and those places where they're not so big on agriculture and cultivation and that sort of thing. To send our bananas to different places. They're trying a thing all the time. They even have what is called a farm labor support program where they're providing workers because they recognize getting farm labor is quite a challenge for farmers. Let me say big up to my friend, Mr. Elias Amusing, the great Ajek, who's a key player, and participant, one of the managers, if not the overall manager of the farm labor support program. That is absolute genius to think of those kind of things. To provide some kind of support for farmers. I know way back in the days, in the heyday of the banana industry, it was a problem to get workers because so many people on harvest day, you ask this person, to find people to come and work for you, in the harvesting of the bananas, in dehanding them, in boxing them, etc., etc. It was a problem. You recognize that it's not just putting trees in the ground and so on. You need a whole lot of, ancillary, factors to go into it. The labor, the accessibility, the carrying of it to the place or the motorable point where the transport can pick it up. There's a lot that goes into it. The casco that people have to go down in that can break their neck and so on in trying to do it. You have to think of all those things. How do you provide better access for them and so on? Some places I looked and I said, my goodness, they would have to invest in cable, just the time you go for the rainforest cable rides. They would have to invest in some kind of cable, cars, not cars, whatever, but something to haul those boxes and so on across the deep gorges and ravines and so on, because some places, I can't even see how you can ever build a road to go there. This is the forward kind of thinking that you have, and I know Alfred Prosper long enough to know that barring cost to put those things, his mind must be turned into a lot of those things. Anyway, let's go for the break, and when we come back, hopefully we can have the communications officer in the Ministry of Agriculture, the senior communications man, Mr. Philip Sidney, on the line with us. And if Jaquan can find that clip of Eustace Monroe's, we'll play it before and then we'll call Mr. Sidney.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild, the power to heal, the future of pain relief.
If you recently submitted a claim to the National Insurance Corporation, you also need to submit your financial account information to get paid. All NIC benefit claims are now paid conveniently through your local financial institution. To provide your bank or credit union account information, simply log on to the NIC website at www.stlucianic.org. Click the Financial Account Information tab and fill out the form. It's that easy. You only submit once. Ensure you enter the details of an open active account in your name. If you do not have access to the internet, visit any NIC office to collect the financial account information form. Help us to help you. NIC for the benefit of us all.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
McDowall Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowall's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other air diseases. McDowall's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowall's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowall's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowall's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowall's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowall's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
You're listening to The Real Issues. And, I was trying to get a picture of Eustace Monroe so we can put on the screen to go with some plain audio of his that we have about a statement he made explaining, about the decline in the, let me see this if we can get this. Download image. All right, so Jaquan, what did we say? What did I say we were going to play? Give me a second, folks. Sometimes when you're trying to juggle so many things, when you hear me describe myself as producer, it's when you're trying to gather all the materials, that you have. So I was just saying to, let's play that audio that we mentioned about, the 2-minute audio. Let's play that.
Generally, when one speaks of agricultural export, one has to bear in mind that bananas would always form the major parts of the agricultural export of St. Lucia. With regards to other agricultural crops, these are definitely insignificant. Last year, 2023, Tropical Storm Brett had a significant impact on St. Lucia. Although it did not reach hurricane status, Brett brought near hurricane force winds and heavy rain to the island on June 22nd, causing widespread damage, agricultural damage, including the destruction of over 75% of the island's banana crop. Later in the year, Tropical Storm Philippi also affected St. Lucia, causing flooding as it passed north of the island. So what we have seen, the whole agricultural crop in terms of bananas was basically destroyed. So as a result, it caused a plummet of 17% in terms of our export of agricultural products. But that does not mean that we did very poorly in agriculture. That was not the case. It was because of the passage of this tropical storm, our whole banana crop was destroyed. And it took us a long time at least to recover. Likewise, in 2024, what we experienced with the tropical storm Beryl in July. And when this happened, it again affected our banana crop. And this is one of our main export in terms of agricultural products. So there's no reason to think that agricultural export just plummeted for no reason at all. There is a basic reason why that happened, and it's only by 17%, and it's because of the banana export, which forms a major part of our total agricultural export. So I'm not sure that anyone who makes that claim saying that, agriculture did badly, that's quite incorrect. Because in terms of root crops, there was a lot of production. Our tree crops, we did very, very well, and I can attest to this. And I know, and if you could get even the record from Massey in terms of farmers coming there in terms of the agricultural products. So they have done very, very well. So this 17% is just a reflection of what happened to the banana industry as a result of the passage of both storms, both Storm Beryl in 2024 and Storm Brett in 2023. Thank you.
So that was Eustace Monrose. He's the chairman of the National Fair Trade Organization, weighing in, giving his very weighty and valuable 2 cents on this decline in agriculture that is being crowed about and so on. We know now this is the age of climate change, people. Things are not the way they used to be. We're being hit by too much rain at one time, way in excess. Then when we don't expect, we have no rain, we have no water, and the surface water we depend in, our reservoirs and catchments and aquifers and rivers and so on are dry, and all of that is a hurricane, a bad weather at what. And then let's just remember, we had a bad weather, tropical weather in December, people, at one time. In December. It killed several people, it created havoc, damage, and it wasn't Castro's flooding, it was everywhere, major, massive landslide. We had Thomas, hurricanes that just sat on us for about how many days and dumped, enough for rain on us, we never know. So anyway, I'm going to call Philip Sidney in just a while, but in the meantime, let's talk about our CMOS in Canada. And that is what you talk about, diversifying your agriculture. You're not putting all your eggs in one basket. Is bananas, is copra, is it? You try a little thing here. What can we do with the cassava, including the regular manioc and the sweet cassava, that we can help our food security with it? What can we do with, this and that, and grow CMOS, all those sorts of things. It's not putting a hotel everywhere. Is there some place that we can use to grow CMOS, and some place that we can do some lobster farming and all that sort of thing? This is the kind of thinking we need in this country, not the old style plantation slave mentality. Let's play this one about the CMOS. All right, so people, let's now see if we can reach Philip Sidney. Let's see if we can get him. I'm just trying to. I think he's waiting for us to call him. He's the Senior Communications Officer in the Ministry of Agriculture. And Philip is down in Volet. He'll tell us what he's doing there. He's attending, I think, the opening of a facility at the Volet where we know the agricultural station now was moved. And we don't spend time belly aching and complaining about it. You make the most of a situation. You make the most and the best of a situation which is foisted upon us by people who don't know what they're doing. Now, I, Mr. Sidney, good day. How are you?
I'm fine, Shelton.
Yes. How's it going down at Volet? Are you still there? Can you tell us exactly what is the function that you're attending and its significance, if you don't mind?
Well, we are trying to, and we will be commissioning Volet soon.
Yeah.
And we are in the preparatory stage. So I'm responsible to ensure that that commissioning activity happens. So I went down there to ensure that everything is going to work out. We're hoping that this Volet agricultural station will be commissioned somewhere in the first week or second week in January. The minister is supposed to give a date on that because we also want the Prime Minister to attend. So, but it will happen sometime in January for sure. So that's why I went down there to ensure that everything is okay.
Tell us about Volet Agricultural Station. Give us a little bit of historical perspective. It is supposed to be the replacement for the Beauséjour Vieux-Fort Agricultural Station. What will be its main highlights or features? Just sometimes it doesn't hurt to take a little trip down memory lane,
Yes, nostalgia for me. I suppose I became an agriculturalist because Beauséjour, in the deep cerebral cortex of mine, I remember that as a young school boy, on vacation days, we used to go around the island. And going to Beauséjour and seeing the animals, the pigs, the various breeds, the larger white, the land race, seeing the cows, the zimbos and stuff like that. I got an interest into agriculture. So the Beauséjour livestock station, is very dear to me. And when we had to move from there, where ideally we had flat land, acres of flat land. I don't know if you remember, we had the dairy section.
Yes.
We were producing milk, we were producing yogurt, and the works, the potential was there, okay, and it is still there. I remember there was an Isba project that was the first in the Caribbean. We got under the minister Musa. We brought down animals. They came down, right? They're still with some farmers doing very well. And we were supposed to reorganize Beauséjour, to build a new lab, all the pens were going to be refurbished, a new office, a new section for the livestock guys to take care of the animals. All of that was in place, and sadly, that came to an end. And of course, not forgetting the MPF, the meat processing facility. So moving from Beauséjour for me personally was hurtful, but of course we had to do what we had to do, and then we got the land at Volet, 101 acres of land. It's undulating, but at least we are working with what we have. We have established, all the pens for the animals, the sheep, the goats, the pigs, rabbits, and the likes. And we also brought in some new animals to Volet. Hopefully, we brought in under the UBEC project, Unleashing the Blue Economy of the Caribbean. We brought in about 135 animals, including sheep, goats, pigs, and also cattle. And this is for breeding purposes. We're going to be using artificial insemination on all these animals to assist farmers to increase the bloodlines as we move along. So, in short, that is where Volet is, and we are hoping that we are going to use Volet as a teaching ground for farmers and students alike, at least for those persons who are interested in agriculture.
All right. Does Volet have any advantages over Beauséjour in terms of, is it a place with greater moisture and water availability, greater forest cover? Are there any things that whatever our disappointment, whatever the case may be, that we can say, okay, there are some things about Volet that we can say maybe, you know, it might provide some improvement over Beauséjour?
Whatever it is, whatever advantages there are not many. I will tell you because like I said earlier, the land space, though it's 101 acres, but then it is undulating.
Yeah,
right?
It's not the continuous flatland that you had at Beauséjour.
No, which is highly mechanized. When we were in Beauséjour, the lands were highly mechanized. We were planting our grasses and from time to time, you know, grazing our animals, and also we have the private owners with the animals, you know, in the communal pasture, you know, all of that, you know, was available at Beauséjour, and this is not available at Volet. So we have to work with what we have. I mean, the Ministry of Agriculture, the staff-wise, we are equipped with knowledge, so we have to work with what we have, and that is exactly what we are doing.
Okay. The fact that Volet is located in the lower parts of Maho and, you know, and Latil and those places. In other words, Volet is a place that has kind of like a gateway, you know, towards, you know, the legendary farming places of Maho and so on. Does that by itself confer any possibilities that you can think of in terms of it's a farming area that is connected to others that have made their own name and fame over the decades?
Yeah, over the years, I mean, Maho, you know, was and is still a major area where farming has been done by farmers. But of course, the banana industry, of course, because has been depleted, so you find there are not many farmers there who are farming in bananas. But then there are still farmers who are into farming, into vegetables.
Citrus. I'm told that Maho and Bwakanu and those areas of there were famous for citrus. Is that true? Citrus, breadfruit, those kind of things?
Yes, they were for a fact, but I will tell you down the road that we are now, our citrus production has gone down considerably, and of course, and probably you should know why, because a lot of our citrus was intercropped in bananas.
Okay. And
since bananas is no more, because once you fertilize the bananas and you spray the bananas, the tree crops get their share.
Okay.
So right now, you know, some of the farmers who abandoned their farms and left bananas,
the citrus suffered as a result as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah, but there's a new tree crop project coming on stream, which was just launched in October. It's a 3-year project, and we're looking at rehabilitating 100 acres of an expansion of tree crops. So we are getting back on track. I mean, we are plagued by diseases. We have in citrus, we have the citrus greening problem. That we definitely have to be working hard to ensure that we can beat this. But then, you know, it's challenging, but with that 3-year project, we're hoping to get back on stream.
Okay. Well, what about, you know, a thought just came to my mind that when you talk about Volet, you talk about the lower adjoining areas of where I think is called Labas, you know, that area going towards, you know, the coast and Miko and so on, where we've had a serious problem with, for example, the Sagassam, the annual thing of the Sagassam. Do you believe that an agricultural station based in that area can become connected to assist with research into possible alternative uses of the Sagassam, that it can be harvested? I've heard a lot about its use as mulch and compost and fertilizer. I'm just asking you, as a veteran agriculturist yourself, do you foresee that the location of this agricultural station can make it useful in terms of exploring how we can deal with the annual problem of the Sagassam?
Okay, I think you've hit the nail on the head. When Volet was identified as a replacement of Beauséjour, it was for livestock. But then our present Minister for Agriculture said it will not be called a livestock station, but it will be called an agricultural station.
Okay.
Because we'll be doing more than just animals there. Understand? So we are hoping to, for example, to house our regional extension office right there, so farmers can go and get services. It will be a multiplicity of activities happening at Vollet. So in terms of the sargassum seaweed, I consider that with maybe research coming on board, right? Research can be done for the use. I know a lot has been done with the use of the sargassum, and we had this gentleman, this young gentleman who was involved in that. He did a lot of work. He used it as a pesticide. He also used it as fertilizer, and also it can be used as a mulch. So there can be ongoing activities at Vollet that can encompass all of these activities.
All right. In addition to, I suppose, an area that the Honorable Minister would be very close to, the whole forestry issue and so on. I think, when you look at, the whole Maho and beyond and the forest and so on, perhaps that agricultural station can also become connected to other aspects of our agriculture as well. Thank you so very much, Mr. Sidney. If there's anything further you wish to say.
I just want to tell before you move, there is good news ahead. I'm sure you've heard about the UBEC project. First time in the history of me being in the Ministry of Agriculture, there's so much is happening in the ministry. We have $10 million to spend in 1 year, which is coming to an end in December. And the activities under that project, we are desilting main drains and lateral drains in major areas like down in Mabia Valley and in Roseau and in Babono, Maki Estate. We are also looking at there's a farm labor support program where we're helping farmers with labor, right? And sadly, at Shelton, we were hoping to get about 250 workers, and we were struggling to get workers to work, paying them a decent wage, and because that's one of the problems that's affecting the farmers, and it's increasing their cost of production when they do get the labor support. Okay, so the government is giving that support free of charge to the farmer. We have been giving water tanks to livestock farmers and the crop farmers as we speak, right? Okay, because in the dry season, you just mentioned earlier that the drought affects us. We are in climate change is here and it's here to stay. So we need to adapt. Okay, so we are giving those persons, in the dry areas, to harvest water when it's dry. At least they can irrigate their crops. All right,
yes.
And also for livestock. All right, we just imported, like I said earlier, under that project, the various breeds of livestock. We are giving out 54,000 bags of fertilizers to banana, plantain, and vegetable farmers. Okay, we have given lime right to the farmers, and we are waiting another 40,000 bags of urea from Venezuela soon. Okay, we are establishing about 41 greenhouses for farmers. We are also rehabilitating all the greenhouses around the island. Those, if you go around the island, you realize that there are so many greenhouses without the cover. So the government is giving farmers all the covers to ensure we resuscitate those greenhouses that were not in production. Come to marketing, right? As you just said, all right. Look, there was this discussion last week with the company in Martinique. So hopefully, come the new year, we should be exporting bananas to Martinique, and also to Canada. We have been NFG is exporting bananas to Canada. All right. Dashing from Fonsejac has been done. CMOS is also making a name for itself. Okay. We have another project called the Black Bass Project, building resilience for adaptation to climate change and climate variability in agriculture in St. Lucia, where they've been giving tillers to farmers to cultivate their soil, and also water tanks. So a lot is happening. The Taiwanese are doing their share in a major way. So a lot is happening. And the fisheries, of course, the fish aggregating device, a lot of them have been deployed. We have another 10 more to be deployed under the UBEC project. And the training of fishers, the upgrade of fish landing sites with ice machine, coolers, stainless steel, fishing cleaning utensils, and the fencing of the compound, right? So there's a lot happening, Shelton.
Okay, thank you so very much. And, feel free at any time. Don't be a stranger to reach out. You know how to get me. And, we can take this thing more extensively in terms of discussion and exposure. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Philip Sidney.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, Mr. Sidney, the Senior Communications Officer in the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Production. We really want to thank him for being with us. A lot more that we can talk about. Agriculture remains extremely important to St. Lucia on all economic fronts in terms of, our self-sufficiency, in terms of our food security, in terms of our export capacity. But we have to leave it at that. I think the lotto is going to be rolling in if it's not already. Thank you very much, Jaquan, for another great job today. We couldn't take any calls, but I think it was well worth it. We'll make up for that on
Rex, one off, 441. Lucky 3, 4, 6, 9. The Lucky Free Multi-X World Run is FB.
Why people the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.